Hi, so today I'm going to go over what it means to defragment your hard drive. I think a lot of emphasis is placed on error checking and running scan disk, and also doing disk cleanup, whether or not you're removing old temporary internet files or old files from your recycling bin. But there's not a great emphasis, as there could be, I don't believe, on defragmenting. I think that there's a lot of people out there that don't know they don't know what this actually means or what it does or the importance of it. And learning how to defragment your hard drive and when to do it, how often you should do it, and the purpose of it can really improve the overall performance of your hard drive. So let's take a look at what defragmenting means. We'll assume we have an allocation table here, and we'll just say this is a 16-bit allocation table. And this allocation table in reality is going to go down to 64,000 units long that can be indexed or tracked. We're just going to take a chunk of it out right here. Okay. Again, we'll say that this can, in reality, this can go down to 64,000 units can be tracked or indexed. Okay, but again, in reality, we're just going to keep this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sectors or clusters, and that's what we'll call this left-hand side. We'll call it a sector, but more importantly, the most common name of it is a cluster. Clusters are just bigger groups of sectors that they actually, usually used to be 512 byte sectors, but once the partitions were limited to such small sizes, they ended up putting more sectors into each unit, and they ended up calling it a cluster, but that's a different lesson. So we'll just call this first sector here 0001. These are hexadecimals. We'll call this next sector 0010. We'll call this third one 0011. We'll call this one 0100. This one here is 0101, and this one here is 0110. And over here on the right-hand side, this is a location. Okay. So the idea is that a file is written into one of these clusters, and then it's the location's marked over here so that the operating system can pull it if it needs it or put it back, right? And we'll come up here with our files. We'll just create a couple of files that we'll write to this allocation table. We'll call one winword .ext. This other one we'll call PC 4.ext. So we've gotten our winword and .ext here, extension and PC4 extension here. So what ends up happening is in this location section, several different things can play out, okay? Inevitably, when you buy a drive, some of these locations are not going to be able to be written to. That's just the way all hard drives typically ship from manufacturers. Some of these are just bad units, and they can't be written to, and when you format it for the first time, whether you, like I said, run FAT16, FAT64, FAT32, new technology file system, which you commonly see with Windows, it'll go through and do a full formatting, and then it'll mark out which ones are usable and which ones aren't usable. So we'll say that this one here is usable, this one here is not usable, and by the way, not usable means FF7. That's our marker. We'll say this one's usable, 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 and this one's usable, 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 usable. F7 here, and usable, 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 usable. Okay, so what ends up happening is this. We're going to go through and we're going to write Word. And we're going to say Word is a larger size file, okay? And we'll say PC4 is small, okay? So this is going to be large. This is going to be small. So when we write to this table, okay, we'll let's say that for winword.ext, it's going to take up 3 clusters, okay? So we'll put WinWord here, and we're going to copy it into these three sectors. So we'll put it in 0, 0, 1, 1, right? Because we always put the one that we're moving to next and the one before it. And then we'll put in 0, 1, 0, 0 here, and then we'll put in a stop code of F, 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 F. And the idea is that a stop code, like the not usable, the stop code is F, 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 F. And then we'll come back up here and label this. Here, we'll label these three with the extension wword.ext. Okay, now we'll come back and we'll write the second file, pc4.ext, here. Okay, so we'll write here, since it's a small file, it's only going to take up one cluster. All right. So we'll call this F, 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 and label this one as pc4.ext. Okay, so now the point of defragmenting and why we've done all this and how it relates to defragmenting. So you see how these units are spread out. We've got one here, and then we're blocked by this FF7, and we're side by side here, so we're okay. The idea is that with fragmenting, is you can imagine over 64,000 units, your files that the operating system pulls, their locations are going to be spread throughout this allocation table. They're not going to be as close to each other as they possibly could be. So it takes the operating system longer to pull and put files, particularly pull when it's reading files from the from the hard drive than it otherwise could if they were side by side with one another. Okay, see how these are side by side, but this file in its entirety is not. If we were to extend this table down and we were to fragment this, I want to show you how it would look. Okay. If we were to go back and fragment this, we would ultimately, fragmenting, what it does is it doesn't erase anything. It simply rearranges these locations of each file to where they're packed closer together with one another. So if we were to defragment, this 0, 0, 1, 1 would be moved down here. This 0, 1, 0, 0 would be moved down here. And this stop file extension would be moved down here. And these would be rewritten 0, 1, 1. And rewritten is the wrong word. Moved is the correct word. They would be moved down here. And so that when the CPU looked for this file, instead of having it to look in separate areas, namely here and then here, it would have them all in one place. So that's the purpose of defragmenting. And the idea is you should defragment on a weekly basis or even a monthly basis. A lot of times Windows now, you can even set it up to do it for you. But that's a small thing you can do to increase the overall performance on your machine, is to defragment regularly, just like you would do an error check on a hard drive, or clean some files out on a regular basis. So I hope this helps and kind of demystifies what defragmenting is. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave comments below or direct message me through YouTube. And stay tuned for some more videos. Thanks. Bye.